Hey guys, my name is Jason. I'm the founder of Distress Loan Advisors. Since 2009, I've been helping people through the SBA Offer and Compromise process. And as of a couple weeks ago, apparently the SBA has generated an application for EIDL Offer and Compromise. If you want to talk to me about your situation, you can book a consultation directly through my website. You can just Google Distressed Loan Advisors Jason, and I'll come right up. I also, sorry, it's early. I have a free EIDL podcast or audio course. I have a premium EIDL audio course, and I've got 200 blog posts, mostly around SBA Offer and Compromise and issues like that. Completely free. I'm also going to put a link to my website in the notes below. So if you want to schedule a case evaluation, you can do that. Today, I'm going to answer the big generic question, can I settle my EIDL loan? Well, I mean, the SBA sent me the forms. It's an application for offer and compromise. So I know that it exists. Beyond that, I can't tell you firsthand if they've approved any and what the time frame would be. And so if anybody out there promises you that they can, get a settlement done for you or guarantees it, I would turn and run the other way. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm always very clear with my clients that I can't make guarantees of any kind because there's just too many moving parts here. There's too many players involved to know for sure in every single case whether or not a settlement is going to be approved. So first and foremost, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It probably loses me some business to, not aggressively try to get people to settle. But the way I see it is I really don't want the headache at this point in my life. If I think you have a decent chance to settle, I'll take you as a client. If not, I'm not going to push you into it. I've even had people say to me, well, why don't you want to help me settle? Is my loan too small? And the answer is, if you really want me to help you, I'll take your money. But I spend a lot of time talking people out of trying to settle because I just, as a consumer myself, you can't count on anybody. I'm going through this process of trying to put a pool in my house, and every day I'm like, this isn't worth it. The pool company is incompetent. The landscaper designer had no idea what's supposed to be submitted to the town. It just seems like nobody knows what they're doing in life. And they all make promises that, yeah, this will get done, no problem. And then it doesn't. So I don't want to be that guy. When people come to me, I tell them my honest opinion. And a lot of times it means I don't think you can settle. But sorry, I'm ranting. Let's get back to the question. Can you settle your EIDL loan? Maybe. And really, that should be the answer. The answer is maybe, because there's so many factors that go into an offer and compromise that I can't tell somebody, in a 2-minute conversation or a 3-line email whether or not they can settle. I've done a video on this, so if you want to go check that out, it's I think it's from April 24th, that video. But basically, first of all, the business needs to be closed and the assets need to be sold. Without that, there is really not a great chance of a settlement. That's the way the SBA has always done it. Beyond that, you have to demonstrate to the SBA that you lack the ability to pay and you're experiencing true financial hardship. So in other words, it's not enough to not be able to afford your regular payment. You have to prove to them that you don't have the assets, that you can't just go borrow against your house or liquidate an investment account. And I've had a lot of people over the years who come to me and say, I have all these other business interests, but that had nothing to do with this one. Why do I have to, liquidate all that stuff? Why do they expect me to pay that? And the answer is the personal guarantee. When you personal guarantee a debt, that means you're committing to fulfilling the obligation if the borrower, who is your business, cannot. And that means offer and compromise looks at your personal financial situation. And if you've got the assets to do it, the SBA expects you to do it. I've also had people come to me and say, oh, $500,000. What if I went to them right now and said, I'll give you 400? And my answer to that is they don't negotiate for the sake of negotiating. You really have to demonstrate financial hardship and lack of ability to pay. They're not negotiating down the amount just to get some money today. If they think you can pay it in full, that's what they're gonna expect you to do. Now, on the flip side of that, I've had people come to me and say, look, Jason, I've got 20 grand left in my business account. That's all I have. I put all my personal funds into it. I maxed out my credit cards. I emptied my retirement account. So all I really have is 20 grand in my business account. So, they should be willing to let me go, right? And the answer is, unfortunately not, because you have to keep in mind that when you try to settle with the SBA, sorry, I'm going to close the door because the dog's barking. What you're settling is your personal guarantee. You generally are not trying to settle the business obligation on behalf of the business, because the business, once it's closed, it's just an entity on a piece of paper. So what we're really focused on is your personal guarantee. And so in the scenario I just described, if you owe them, call it $500,000, and you say, well, I've got $20,000 in my business account. Unfortunately, all business assets, including cash in a bank account, would need to be liquidated prior to any offer and compromise. So you would essentially have to give them that money. And then at that point, they'd say, okay, how can you pay us out of your personal pocket? And if you have nothing left, they're not going to release you for nothing. And I've had people come to me and say, look, I don't have anything. Isn't that what a settlement is all about? I don't have anything, so they're going to let me go. And my answer to that is, that's not a negotiation, right? A negotiation is, I give something cash, they give something, the release of the personal guarantee. So unless you can offer them something of value and they're convinced that that's the most that they can get, chances are it's going to be difficult to settle. So again, can you settle? Possibly, but it's going to depend on your personal financial situation. And unfortunately, I could make videos 24 hours a day for the rest of my life, and I won't be able to capture every scenario. You know what I mean? Your financial situation is a lot like a fingerprint. It's unique. It's probably similar to others, but never exactly the same. So that's why, I'm doing 10 to 15 case evaluations a week, because we have to go through the intricacies of the personal financial situation. So that's the answer to the question of, can I settle? The answer is maybe. There's certainly some prerequisites: close the business, sell the assets. But then you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork and prove to them, and that's primarily what I help people do, is what narrative do we pitch to them that's going to give you a chance to settle? And when I say a narrative to pitch, I'm not saying we're doing stuff under the table, we're not doing smoke and mirrors, but rather the opposite. How do we lay all our cards on the table so they understand very well exactly what your situation is, so it becomes clear to them that a settlement makes sense? Okay, I'll say it again. I'm not here for misdirection. I'm not here to help you hide your assets. What I'm here to do is look at your situation and advise clients a reasonable settlement amount that they need to be making. So it doesn't help anybody to offer a couple $1,000s when clearly you can afford more than that. If you're looking to lowball, I don't really do that either. The whole point of the offer and compromise is to make an offer that's in line with your financial situation. And yes, there's a lot of nuance to that, and that's why people hire me. But you just need to realize that, they're not dumb. They've done a lot of these. And so if you're going to settle, they're going to want their pound of flesh. And the clients who do settle understand that and are willing to pay or give their pound of flesh. So that's it. I'm rambling. We're at 9 minutes. Thanks for checking in. Again, if you need to book a case evaluation, just Google Distressed Loan Advisors Jason, and I'll come right up, and you can book it directly through my online calendar. Thanks for checking in. I'll see you soon.